Our first topic today is
simple model of a computer. The simple model of a typical computer is based on the working of a computer as shown in the figure. The first thing is input, then second thing is process and storage, and the final thing is output. Now, as discussed earlier, instructions are needed to make computer perform some actions. Now, do you know the meaning of instructions? None of the author of the book has taken pain to explain you the meaning of instructions. Instruction means software. See, first thing, as we purchase a new computer, we need to install the system software in which the instructions are written so as how the computer to perform or how to do different operations. Thereafter, we install different softwares as per our need. So these all are known as instructions. To obey instructions provided by the user and perform computations, a computer needs to have a mechanism to input. For example, in our computer, we have got the USB slot from where we can insert the pen drive and install the programs. We have got another mechanism also, that is, our computer can get connected to the internet. We can download the programs and install it. The input mechanism helps in feeding the data as well as instructions into the computers. This mechanism is called input unit. Devices used for input purpose are known as input devices. Typical input devices are keyboard and mouse. Now see, wherever or whichever word I have marked in red and bold, from there the MCQs could be asked. I am telling it in the beginning only, so that every time at each word I do not have to stop and waste your time and tell you that from here the MCQ could be asked. Input provided through the input mechanism is stored in the memory of the computer and further processed by the mechanism called processing unit or processor. See, whatever input we provide, for example, if I type something in Microsoft Word, then that is the input given by me with the help of keyboard. Then after that we get the result on the monitor. So in between there is so much process which is taking place, that is done by the processing unit or processor. Results are presented to the user through the output mechanism called output unit. Typical output devices are monitor and printer. In short, input, memory, processor and output are the basic components of a typical computer. Here I have given you the photographs of different input units, which are the most common input units. Now, my way of explaining the chapter is different. I don't like students mugging up the things. Instead of that, I try to explain it in such a way that you are able to memorize the things easily. For example, if you see the photographs of these things, then whenever I speak the word input device, at once these things will come into your mind. So now first we will discuss about the input unit. The input unit provides a facility to enter data and instructions into the computer. Input mechanism supports many devices such as keyboard, mouse, joystick, barcode reader, universal serial bus, in short it is known as USB devices, etc. Different input devices take different data in different forms and sends it to the computer memory. For example, use of the keyboard to enter the data and instructions is very much similar to the use of the typewriter. In olden days, typewriter was used to do the text entry. So keyboard is used for doing the textual entry. Another way to input data is reading through the barcode reader. Barcode reader is normally seen at the superstores. Remember, when you purchase a packet of biscuits, the shopkeeper uses a small device and presses a button on the device. With the sound of a beep, the barcode printed on the tag of a biscuit packet is read and copied to the computer in order to generate the bill. Mouse is also used to input the data into the computer. Now the first question which will arise in your mind is that from mouse we cannot do the textual entry, neither we can scan anything. Then how is it known as an input device? Now my dear students, it is not only input device but it is also used for output, process, everything. For example, if I want to copy a file from the pen drive into the computer, I can give a right click on the file, copy, and right click and paste, simple. So therefore mouse is known as an input device. Another thing, mouse is a device that controls movement of the pointer or cursor on the display screen. As mouse is moving on the surface, the pointer on the display screen is also moved. Most of the input devices converts the data to the machine readable form. This is asked in the textual MCQ number 4. So after the input unit, we come to the next unit, and that is memory and control unit. Once the input is collected via any of the input devices, the input is needed to be stored into the computer memory. Computer memory retains data, instructions and processed output for a while or for a longer time. There are two different types of memories which are known as primary memory and secondary memory, or temporary memory and permanent memory. See, here I have given a picture. The middle picture is of RAM. RAM is a temporary memory, while the right hand side picture is of hard disk, that is a permanent memory. While control unit is like the brain of the computer. So all three things I will explain you in detail. First, I will be explaining you about the primary memory. Some computer memories are capable of remembering the content for very short duration, say till the work is in progress and the continuous power supply is ensured. I give you an example. Suppose if you are preparing a PowerPoint presentation, you have not saved the file anywhere, and if the electricity goes away, then the file, if it is not saved, the data will get lost. So where was it stored till the power supply was on? It was stored in the primary memory. Such memory is called volatile memory. Such memory forms primary storage device of a computer. Hence it is known as primary memory. Now this question should be arising in your mind also, that sir, if this memory is able to store the data only for a temporary period of time, then why it is known as primary memory? So the explanation is that if there is no primary memory, then how will you open that PowerPoint presentation and how will you create that PowerPoint presentation? You will not be able to even start the computer without the primary memory. It is very important for a system, operating system to load, or for a program to load, we require primary memory. It is also called temporary memory or main memory. The input from different devices goes first to the primary memory and will be retained into the memory electronically. Now see, whatever file you open, before you save the file, temporarily it will be saved in the main memory only. Would you like to see how the primary memory looks? Yes or no? If yes, then I will show you the photograph of primary memory.